Hey guys, how you doing? I was curious, just found that intro. I wasn't really sure what happened, if it just automatically switched over or whatever. So a big thing about going online is just experimenting and just trying things. So that's why I'm just going to switch over to here and make sure I've got audio. I think I have, but we'll just do this. And we do. Look at that. That is so cool. Love it when a plan comes together. So, a couple of housekeeping. Um, the I will come up with a better name, or maybe more a clearer or more accurate name. What Transformational Practitioners Online Facebook Group. Anyway, so this is also going there. So for the folks in that group, and if you would like to, if you're a practitioner, and that's really a big piece of what this video is about, and are taking your first steps into creating a virtual presence, an online presence, or you maybe dabbled in it and are taking it to the next level. That's what this Facebook group, that's what this video is about. And that's what that Facebook group is for. It's a public group, Transformational Practitioners Online. I will change it. But anyway, it's a mentor group, a support group, resources group. I love to do this. I just posted a picture, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes ago. That this is kind of what I see here just before I go live. So I really enjoy doing this. I always have for as long as I can remember. And for me, it's also, as you've heard me say more than once, it's easy to spend money and buy stuff. The trick is to figure out how to create some pretty decent quality content without spending a lot of money, and even in some cases free if you kind of get creative. So I'm just going to, because I'm not going directly through Facebook, I can tell you're viewing, but I don't see the little icon pop up. So I know that you are here, but I don't see who you are. I'm going to try and do this just while we're here, and I might be able to do it this way. We'll kind of do this and see what happens. Okay, so the equipment I'm using for this one is I'm using a Logitech webcam, which is right there, and it's not that it matters, but anyway, it's a C920 is the model if you want to look it up. It was difficult to find webcams. I think they're probably kind of back online, pardon the pun now, but it was difficult to find webcams a while ago because, of course, the whole world is going virtual. Right. And I heard stories anyhow about people that were, or vendors, I guess, if you will, that were, I'm just changing this, that were jacking up the prices and all that insane stuff. But anyway, so I'm using that as a webcam. I'm using this Blue Yeti. So it's actually called a Blue Yeti mic. I think it's because of the size. So the company name is called Blue. You can always research that. It's a little bit more money, the mic is. But as you've seen, also, whoops, and I hit the mic. Also this, right, your phone makes a really good webcam. And it's, I mean, a really high quality webcam, and it's in your hands, right? So you can use that as well. The streaming software is called Streamyard, which works actually really well. And there's the free, a lot of this stuff, right? There's the free version, and then there's the sort of the upsell version. But with Streamyard, and if you guys are interested, we can always do I can do a bit of a tutorial on that as well. But the free version, it's, you can do a lot of stuff with the free version. That's that. So that's the equipment that I'm using for this. Just a couple of housekeeping stuff, and then I'll jump into it. Of course, as you know, everything, healingcenter.ca. So if you go to healingcenter.ca, you can link through to all the different things we're doing, the online presence that we're doing. We're now offering and this is our first formal workshop, is the Reiki Level 1 certification in a modularized fashion. So again, if you go to healingcenter.ca, you can click through and check that out as well, or the Facebook profile. Everything I do is posted there as well. If you actually, I can just take you on a bit of a tour. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over. So this is a feature in this case, Streamyard, and it's really, really simple. I know it takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's really, really simple. So I'm just going to bring on this. And how do I want to do this? Oh, I have to turn this off. And there we go. There we go. So this is the website. This is what you see, although it changes every once in a while. And if we scroll, this is the Ask the Wizard, what I call it, Ask the Wizard Metaphysics Academy. So if you go there, you're going to see something that looks like this. This is this is going to work really well, or it is working really well, actually. So this is some of the online courses, different things like this. You can scroll through there as well. One of the neat things about this is each one of you, I could actually probably show you if you would go to student portal. No, I'm probably already logged in. Yeah, so this is me. And if there was any courses, let's see if I own any of my own courses. I might have added some in. Oh yeah, so okay, so they're all mine. So anytime you register or you purchase either the online and then the resources blended version, or just if it's all home study, it gets added to your library, which is really cool because each one you purchase, it'll keep adding to your library and added to your library. And I think especially right now, we're in this insane environment that we're in. Those tools and how to manage, and not just to manage and not just survive, but to thrive are huge. And then I think this is going to work really well. And it'll build up and build up and build up, right? And that's what's so cool is you build this resource library. I'm just going to go back to that. That's that. Hashtags, you know this. Hashtag living from the other side. Hashtag I want to feel good. I'll go through this pretty quickly because you know all this stuff. All right. So as I said, through this, I don't necessarily see who's watching. So if you want to shout out, that's cool, right? Usually I can see your little icon if I'm using the phone, so I can say, hey. But with this, I don't see it readily, but I do see the comments as they come across. Okay, so maybe you're taking your first steps or expanding your online presence. My control panel is actually right in front of me here. Expanding your online presence. And for myself, I've been doing this, as you guys know, forever. And for me, it was really reinventing what I guess who also the healing center is, and then for myself, and then the expression of it as well. And this is, of course, no news to anybody. The globally, we've been encouraged, coerced, forced into going virtually, or into going virtual, right? Which is one of the reasons the whole webcam things, from what I hear, because I didn't need to purchase any of that stuff a while ago, were hard to find, and things like that. That we're starting to do work, to learn, to socialize, to connect virtually. And as a practitioner, however you want to define that, this presents a really interesting opportunity for us. And think about this. The globe is being moved, and whether they like it or not, becoming comfortable with online presences, with connections like this, right? Even just, again, becoming more virtual, whether it comes down to purchasing online, to ordering food online, all that stuff. And so really the globe, and I think for me, this is an opportunity that, and I've been around for a while, I'm 59 and change, never seen anything like this. Probably the closest thing would be the internet, really, which has changed the whole face of the globe. This isn't something that's just as big as that. And we can take advantage of that, and we can ride that wave, and we can offer what you offer to truly a global audience. Well, the trick is, how do you do that, right? And so one of the tips, of course, if this was formal, is you turn your phone off. But we're just kind of chilling, right? So, so that's all good. But so how do we do that? And what are the first steps? And there's the mechanics of it involved. I mean, I'm looking at it all around me right now. And I think probably for most of you that are viewing this, you have a mission and not a business. I did a training on this. I'll have to dig it up or just do another one. And the question is, are you running a business or do you have a mission? And not that they're mutually exclusive, but depending on which camp you live in one camp and you visit the other. And most, if not probably all of you guys that are watching this, you have a mission, not a business. Not that there aren't business aspects to it, right? But your focus is on a mission. It's getting your message out. It's really, and when you do that, especially this way, you're offering yourself. So when I say the healing center myself, it really is like what you're offering. You containerize it in all these different packages, but it's you, right? And that's an interesting challenge, especially if maybe you're not comfortable with doing stuff like this in a camera, whether it's audio or video or a combination of both or things like this. And then there's all the equipment, and then there's the technology behind it and all that kind of stuff. And that's all cool. But what I find is, as you guys know, I call it, I'm not the only one, I call it pre-work, right? That's all physical, right? It's what's the non-physical behind it. And that's what's so important. And probably the best way to share that is just, I'll share my journey in becoming, or really, of course, as you guys know, 90% of what the Healing Center does involves travel, which is like, so I've decided, okay, well, we need to kind of reinvent this. I think that's the first thing. It's a little bit more technical, but going virtual, and I see this quite a bit, what some practitioners, again, whatever that looks like, are saying, okay, well, I'm going virtual. So they just set up a webcam and do the exact same thing they do in person. They do it virtually, which is topics for another discussion, but it's a different medium. And to be effective in a different medium means it's not as simple as just taking one and flopping it over the other, right? To be effective. Again, a topic for another video. But for right now, when you're taking those steps, and here's what I see is practitioners will take the first step. I'm going virtual, I'm offering online, I'm doing whatever. Now, when you do that, you're going to take the step. And so often what happens is you're going to feel that initial resistance to the first step. We talk about this in the Manifesting Abundance Home Study course. I don't have the manual in front of me, but anyway. So you step out and there's that initial sort of resistance pushing back. And what's interesting is, and you guys know I've been doing this for a while now, I felt that doing this, right? So here's kind of the way it works. So I go, and I love doing this, right? As you guys know. So it was, I'm going to, okay, so what are we going to do? So the first thing we did was just tear apart all the curriculum and choose how are we going to rebuild it to deliver, and the delivery mechanisms for delivering online. And so then I start putting it together. And so you start putting it, and it's, oh, this is fun, and I like this. And then what happens is you feel that bit of resistance. So it's like a tension in your body, which then, and that's a vibration, right? A tension in your body. And then from that vibration, the thoughts come, right? And those thoughts are like, wow, there's all these other people that are doing it. Nobody's going to buy this stuff, and you feel that, right? So you move forward and then you feel that resistance. And so often, especially if you're taking your first steps into that resistance might be enough to stop you. So it's about, for me, it's about leaning through the resistance, not pushing through the resistance. So that's what I felt. And you feel it, right? You feel that, right? And the thoughts. So then what I would do was, okay, so, and one of my main modalities is Reiki, as you guys know. So what I would do is I wouldn't try and push through the resistance. I think that's it. So you feel the resistance, right? And we're not trying to push through it, right? We're just, okay, I feel it. And so what I would do is I would find the tension in my body, and you can use whatever techniques you wish. I would find the tension in my body. I would run energy on it, and I would release the tension. Why? Because what's happening is you're stepping into something new. There's that very natural resistance. And what we're doing is, I like to say, we're leaning through the resistance, right? We're not, right? We're just kind of leaning into it. So when I was taking martial arts, when you were increasing your flexibility, so what you would do is you would stretch your muscles until they didn't feel good, right? And when you got to that spot where it was like, ouch, but okay. So you wouldn't push further, but you would just stay there, right? You would kind of stretch. And then when it got to that spot where it was uncomfortable, but you could hold it, and then you would just stay there. And then what would happen is the muscles would start to release and allow it to stretch further. That's what you're doing with this. When you're stretching into something new, and this can apply to anything, when you're stretching into something new, there's going to be that natural resistance. And so many people, when they feel that resistance, what happens is they back off. Guess what happened? Resistance goes away. But guess what also happens? You ain't growing. Right? This is, I seem to have some energy around this. I see this so often. And believe me, I'm talking to the mirror too. Is you step into something new, there's that resistance. So you do one of two things. You try and push through it, which only makes it stronger, or you run away from it. Resistance goes away, but yeah, so does all the growth. All that good stuff that's right on the other side of that resistance, right? So you lean into it, you feel it in your body, which starts the thoughts, right? And then you just stand. Just stand in that. It's uncomfortable, but it's okay. Treat the uncomfortableness as best you can, right? And maybe if you're physically doing something, maybe you were writing a script, maybe you were doing something online or things like that, then maybe take a break from it. That's okay, right? But you treat that resistance, whatever way you wish to do it. Oh, okay, we can do that. So you treat that resistance, okay, and then you go back in again, right? Stretch. Okay. Yeah, it's more uncomfortable than I want it to be. Okay. You back up. Treat the resistance. Back in, back up, back in, back up. Right. And what will happen is each time you do that, it's like that muscle's allowed to stretch a little bit more. It's like whatever that is that's wanting to push you back, releases a little bit and releases a little bit and releases a little bit. And then you're able to stretch further. And then you're able to stretch further. And I think that's what I did. Right? And I still continue to do, right? I mean, I got some momentum behind me and that's perfect, but I still feel it. So when you feel that resistance, identify where it is in your body, release the tension. Why is that tension there? Because you're stretching. It's like you're stretching a muscle into a position that it's not used to going, right? You're not forcing it, right? I like to say stretching, but not straining, right? And if it means taking a break, then take a break, but then come back again, right? That's the thing is people start something new. They feel that resistance and then they run the hell away and the resistance goes away and they go, oh, wow, what the hell was I thinking in the first place? You want to live the same day over. This is me. Okay. You want to live the same day over and over again. That's a really good way to do it. Right. So, and I will wrap up with this. So if you're taking your first steps or if you're stepping up your game, right, in an online presence of some type, understand that your pre-work, that non-physical work is just as important, if not more important than all this stuff out here. And remember, you have a message. See, there's nobody in the world exactly the same as you. And you're amazing and you're powerful and you have something to say. Always remember that. And is it uncomfortable stepping into that? Oh, God, tell me about it. I still deal with it. But I manage it, right? And one of my, I'll call it an attribute, is I'm damn stubborn. And once I decide, then it's almost like I have an inability, and I'm not bragging, believe me, I have an inability to sort of give up, right? So you just keep moving. And that's what Ask the Wizard is for, Right. That's what the Transformational Practitioners Online support group, resource group, and Facebook is for. We have an opportunity. Let's build that virtual community because there's a world that is waiting for what you have to offer. Let's create the platform. Let's offer it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. You kind of know how to find me. Like I said, all this stuff is there. Ask the Wizard. You can go to, and I'm just going to do this because it's kind of cool, and I like playing around with it. There you go. That's my Facebook. There's the Facebook. Your video starts now. But anyway, there's the Ask the Wizard group. Facebook page. You can kind of scroll down and check out everything that's going on there as well. Come on, mouse, wake up. Every once in a while, the mouse dies. Here we go. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Share. We're all in this together. See you on the web.